On this week's episode of the Kokomo Press Podcast, we talk a little bit about how we started the Kokomo Press and how Matt had a very important part of it. Also, we spoke a little bit about how Simon had a weird week.
We're going to talk about some Colts topics, and then we're going to talk about how the McRib fits into the circle of life.
Plus, we also play an interesting game of Smash or Pass, and I'm telling you, I'm hungry.
I'm hungry. I'm horny. We talk about all this and more on this week's episode of the Kokomo Press Podcast.
Warning, this video contains adult content not suitable for children.
What's up? It's the Kokomo Press Podcast. I'm Jordan Granger, and as always, I'm joined by one of the greatest co-hosts to ever exist.
James Corden. Brian West. Brian West, what's
You're not
up,
allowed
guys?
to go to any restaurants now because you said that. You're officially removed from restaurants. But we have a very special guest today, and he goes back from we're going to get into it, but he goes back to the beginning of the Brian and me days, to be honest. And I don't know if he remembers that, but we've got the very special, very talented, very funny Matt Perez.
Thank you for having me.
What's up, Perez?
Get some claps going, man. It's nice to have you on, man. We've talked about getting you on a couple times,
A couple times.
You've been leaving town, coming back, leaving town, coming back.
He's always on the road.
I come back, though, unlike my father. So.
Yeah, I posted one of those spirit Halloween memes. It is Halloween, everybody. So have fun. Halloween. It's literally Halloween when we release this, so it's gonna be tomorrow.
Excellent.
Here comes Halloween, 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 Halloween. I am gay. Okay. But anyway, we what the fuck was I even talking about? I forgot. We started singing.
We're talking about Matt Perez.
We go back, man. We go back.
I believe.
Very far away. Your dad. No, I did a Spirit Halloween, one of those fake things, and it was like my dad, and it was an empty space, and it was like my dad. So.
And that was it.
That was it.
That's gold, though.
Yeah. And so I was not pictured, pack of cigarettes and milk, the same. Those are the ones everybody's like, oh, he went to go get a carton of milk and never came back. Mm-hmm. Now we just get gallons.
Real quick, I was supposed to go to the Coterie last night for the Halloween party, and everybody was like, you weren't there? And I was like, yes, I was. And they're like, no. And I was like, yeah, I was Jordan's dad. I didn't win first place, but...
I'm heartbroken. I'm just kidding. My dad also didn't win first place on Father's Day.
At the Father's Day.
I made a joke last night about that too. I was like, everybody, it feels like everybody's getting lucky in here. It's like the hip hugger on Father's Day. Everybody gets lucky. Because everybody's sad. It's the easiest way to bring them down. Mm-hmm. The worst.
Yeah, build them, break them down, build them back up.
Man. Did you guys? You said you spent some time at the Coterie. Obviously, you worked there for a long time, right?
I worked there for about a year.
You worked. Okay, so you did the social and all that, the back in the day.
It wasn't like the social. It was like the hangar. It was with the Sky Bar.
Yeah. Yeah, you worked there for a while, and then you moved downtown with the Coterie and stuff. Mm-hmm. And did you bartend? Is that what it was?
Yes.
Yeah, killed it out there. I know the one time I've actually hung out in the Coterie, Brian and I went there, and you were there. So I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, making some drinks.
Over the years, how many bodies have you had to bury for Kyle Gibson? Just just guess.
At least 15.
At least, yeah. He kills a competition, literally.
Got him, boys. Booked him. We now officially. He's basically Larry Hall. He's the Larry Hall of 2022. Yeah. Did you guys see that Blackbird? Actually, the last podcast, Jordan Bell brought up Blackbird. It's on Apple Music or Apple fucking TV, and I watched it. It's better than the Dahmer one. It's actually way better, and it's about a serial killer from Indiana.
Really?
Oh,
Wabash.
Oh.
Yeah, Larry Hall is his name.
Okay, yeah, don't let me, because I knew you were talking about, but I didn't know that was on. I will watch it at work tonight.
Oh, dude, it's good. Honestly, I was very surprised because I watched the Dahmer series. It was hard for me to watch because I'm not into that bloody.
I'm not really into that either.
It's not my thing, and I got through it because I was like, somebody said by the end, there's a really great episode that's shows from the perspective of one of the victims. I watched it. Then by the end, you feel okay about it, and I was like, nah, I still felt like shit. But then I watched this one and I felt amazing. They did way better, and it has Taron Egerton, Eggsy, or what's his name? Fucking from the Kingsman. Eggy.
Oh, that
I know who
guy.
you're talking about. I don't know. his name, Yeah.
He did Elton John too, but he's one of the main characters in it. And then it's got like Greg Kinnear, who's like the main detective, and then it's like one of the last performances from Ray Liotta, who plays his father. It's pretty good. It's really good.
So, but I like the gory stuff. I don't like how they portrayed Dahmer, but is there any gory stuff in this at all?
No, I think that's why I liked it. It was like, it didn't like glorify the murdering. It glorified capturing him. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was like the way in which they went about finally getting this guy, because this guy was like kind of mentally handicapped, kind of schizophrenic, not schizophrenic, like diagnosed, but didn't have like personalities. But he would see him kind of go in and out of like trying to be, and he would like they called him like a serial like, not offender, but like he would admit to crimes that he didn't do.
So it was like a Zodiac kind of take.
Yeah, they were like, oh, we found it. We found out that he killed somebody else they had booked for a crime, and then he had took them to go find the body when he was like having one of his episodes, and he couldn't find it. And they implied, I think, in the show that like they built a gas station on top of the body, which is why he could never find it, because there was like a tree. So like it was like a weird. They did a lot of really cool things in it, but the acting in it, there was one part in the movie. I don't want to ruin too much because you said you might watch it tonight, but there was one part in the movie where I was like just floored by the acting. I was like, the acting is so much better.
I might have to check it out. I might have to check it out as well.
Yeah,
Blackbird. Yeah, it's pretty decent, dude.
Now, since we're on kind of this Jerry Bad show, I just want to say, thank God that they have a connection in the Delphi.
Yeah, the
case.
Delphi murders. Actually, I can bring that up real quick. I did get the. Let's go ahead and bring. No, that's not.
It's not him.
It's not.
Well, he's a piece of shit too.
Sorry, wrong one. We'll get to that one.
I wish you would have brought up like a picture of like somebody we really respected.
Just a picture of my mom. Yeah. Where did I put it? It's on here somewhere. No, I seen the dude's face. Right? Is he not on here? Maybe I didn't put it on. Oh, it's right there. Okay, so this is what I shared of it. So if you guys see, this is Angela Ganote. I don't know if she looks like she got blonde hair. I don't know. Breaking. We feel confident now, confirming through multiple sources an arrest made in the connection to the 2017 murders of Libby German and Abby Williams in Delphi. Richard Allen booked into Carroll County Jail at noon, then moved to a state facility for his safety. And this was the picture that was released online that we got that was confirming this is him, this is the guy. So I mean, obviously, court of law, you know, everybody gets justice, or, you know, however, but there's been a lot of speculation for years. At one point, I was linked to it. I exonerated myself. I said, listen, I wasn't there. I wasn't fucking there. I was at work. All right. No, but there was like the guy out of Galveston. Remember that guy that got, Klein or something? They were called him out.
And it doesn't help social media, because every time they even have a slither of like somebody, everybody's, they become the fucking detective from True Criminal or whatever.
They're like, we got him, boys.
Yeah, they're always putting shit together.
Matthew
like
McConaughey,
picture,
True Detective.
Yeah, True Detective. He put it like it's
True
insane.
Detective. No, honestly, it was interesting. Them when it popped, I just remember being like, "Oh shit, they got it." And then Jordan and Courtney were like talking, and they both sent a photo of a guy, and it looked just like the picture. And I'm like, "All right." And so I waited a minute till I got confirmation from like an actual journalist, and then once I did, I was like, "I'm gonna post it." And little did I know, you know, it wasn't the right guy. I immediately posted. 2 people were like, that's not him, that's the wrong picture, delete it. And this lady's like, here's the right picture. So I updated it really quickly, but for a second, like, I was like, I believed you, motherfuckers. I believed you.
That other guy that I know what picture you're talking about, and he looked like a creep too, but
yeah, actually, I have a picture of him right here if you guys want to see him. It's, this is actually him right here. You know, we didn't know you needed a girlfriend that bad, motherfucker. No, I'm just kidding. This is Simon Dibsey. I don't know if you guys saw this over the weekend. Oh man, over the week he went out and did his thing. You know, this isn't the second time he's done it, but for me it was still just as funny because I love it. Yeah. I thought it was hilarious, and it moved pretty well for a minute.
yeah. Our page, it did real well on the page.
Yeah, a lot of. Did you see there was a random woman that messaged the page like, "Hey, what's his name? Can you guys give me his number?" Not even joking. This is not a joke.
Was she a baddie or?
To be honest, like I didn't go to her page, but based on the profile picture, she looked like, you know, they would work really well when it comes to like psyche, mental health. I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry, Simon. He's over here like I fucking hate this guy. No, but he, you know, out there doing this. I guess there's one way to meet women. You know, it's one way.
It works for him. You know, he's the man of many one-night stands.
So many
one-night stands.
Yeah, so many. My mom what was that? No, I knew when we had Matt on, I had to make the connection here to something that we all did together. So let's go and bring this motherfucker up.
God.
Yeah, I know he knows what it is. All right, let's go back a little bit here.
Seriously taking my motherfucking pictures.
I'm taking a video.
Give me a motherfucking ride, man. Fuck you.
so that's the connection I was talking about with having you on the pod, because I'm like, you made that you like captured that moment in time.
I had no idea that video was going to blow up like it did. I was literally just on my way to Steak and Shake at like 12:30 in the morning, and I just saw this dude. And then there's like all these people came out like with this background on this guy.
Yeah,
I do.
Well, Brian, I mean, we gotta kind of bring that up. Brian, you hit me up with the idea, like you said, like we should recreate this.
Of course, yeah, because it was like,
you're like, let's take it to the next level. Let's see what would have happened if Matt would have said, you know what, come on, I'll give you a ride. Fuck it.
I was just thinking that, like, you guys probably would have had like kids by now and like been married.
Yeah, so, you might have found love.
Maybe.
If you had the audacity that Simon did.
Give me a fucking ride, man. Yeah.
Yeah, but that ended up leading to this photo, which is insane. Like
that little baddie.
A little backstory. The funniest part about this video is Brian and I, like, he was like, we should do this. We should go recreate it. And I was like, okay. And we'd never done a video together at that point. This is the first video we ever done together, because I had done like separate things. He had done separate things, and we had talked about doing comedy. And he was like, let's go shoot this video. And I was like, I'll dress up. And so we shoot the whole thing. He comes back, drops me off. I get ready to take my stuff off. He messaged me. He's like, man, I deleted the whole video
on accident. I didn't even mean to. Yeah.
So we filmed this whole fucking thing, and then we'd filmed it like 2 or 3 times at that point, because we wanted to get it right when we kind of get the beats, because that's how we normally film things anyway. And we filmed it, and then he was like the final one he accidentally deleted, and this was before iPhones had the like recently deleted, so it was just like.
It was gone
into the ether, gone forever, gone in 60 seconds. Nicolas Cage. Sorry, Nicolas Cage popped in my head. Right. But anyway, we did that, and then he was like, I'm going to come get you, and then we had to go shoot it again. And every time I watched that video back, all I could think of is how many times I said the word man. What's up, man? Man, man. In the original one, I didn't do that, and then like that was my tick to get back into like the character, like like. If you listen to people like on SNL, and I'm not comparing myself to anybody like that, but like they always talk about like there's a certain phrase that gets you into the character, like this, like Trump says, like I'm the greatest, or greatest there ever was, like. So there's certain words, and that was my word to get in there, and I just used it in every fucking sentence for some reason. So it's cringe for me to watch it back.
That started. That video started everything.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. I didn't know that. That was the start.
You don't realize you actually had a big you doing that video led to us doing this video. Which led to the Kokomo Press.
Well, that's awesome.
I know, right? Isn't that crazy?
If I wouldn't have wanted Steak and Shake.
And I know you're going to be hounding me for royalty checks after this and shit like that, but there's nothing I can help you with, okay?
My lawyer's already contacted me.
He has no money because, I don't know if you can, he has no money because of clearly the McRib Farwell Tour happened, and all his money is going towards that.
Get it ready.
Between you and Courtney, we talked about this a little bit earlier.
Can we get a...
Oh, God. Let's do it.
I'm ashy right now. I knew I should have put lotion on.
Let me see if I can get a close-up of this. Ooh. Yeah, I think that's the closest I can get right there.
That is a McRib tattoo, though, ladies and gentlemen.
Literally a McRib.
The best part is that it says we're only here for a limited time.
Yeah. Now it's got to say
that's
bye.
Deep, man. That's some deep shit.
We're all only. It's like, oh, God damn it.
That's deep.
God, he's like, we're all here for super deep. I'm super deep, guys.
McRib reminds me of life. It's circle.
Yeah, it's like the circle of life.
Yeah. And diabetes.
Yeah, and diabetes.
For some reason, that made me think of, I don't know, but William Shatner went up into that blue orbit.
Yeah.
Did you see what he said?
What'd he say?
He said, I went up there and like everybody's like waiting for him to have this like profound experience. And he's like, I just saw death up there. That's all he saw. He said it was the most depressing thing ever. And that man's like almost 90. Or he is 90.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
He's going to be dying soon. And he just saw death before he's...
I am death. I become death. Destroy. Did you see that? One of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life, and it threw me off completely, was Joe Rogan like quoting to Dave Chappelle, Oppenheimer doing that. I am when the atomic bomb went off. Oppenheimer was like, I am become death, destroyer of worlds. Mm-hmm. And he says that to Dave Chappelle, and Dave Chappelle's like, and actually right after that, a black guy was there. The black guy that was there, he was like, hey man, will you shut the fuck up? It was like threw me off completely. He was like, hey bro, shut the fuck up. Yeah, that's I mean, we got the circle of life we all live, and then like I think the McRib is the perfect like explanation of the circle of life because like it literally goes in one end and within like 10-15 minutes it's right out the other. It's the complete circle. The digestive system is also a circle.
Is the rumors true that it's the farewell tour?
Is that real?
It's probably not.
Yeah, it's
they're
probably
just saying that to
It's
get
like
it
people
out,
like me who will like give into it and like who's buying them en masse right now.
Yeah,
that's me.
My pops took me in 2000 to a fucking Kiss farewell tour, and you know how that planned. Those motherfuckers are still going. So in 2000, 22 years ago.
Farewell until we start to lose money, and then it's like, we're back.
Yeah,
I'm back. You know, it's like the Taco Bell school of marketing. Like, yeah, we're getting rid of the Mexican pizza, and the next thing you know, like a year later, they're like, hey, we're bringing the Mexican pizza. It's like
they just take it. Yeah, they just take it to bring it back. I mean,
creating an event.
Exactly.
It's
I
just
didn't
a
know
cycle.
Mexican pizzas were so popular to begin with.
Dude, they're
They were.
delicious.
I mean, they're good. You get them without beans. I don't like the beans. I don't know. You like the beans? I like them without beans. But like, they're not bad. It's just like you don't care. It's like you don't know what you got. You don't know what you lost until it's gone.
Until it's gone. Yeah.
Once it goes
Very
away,
profound.
you're like
Again,
even more.
Again, yeah.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get the
fast
Mexican pizza on my leg, and it's gonna say, "You don't know what you got till it's gone."
food. Please
it's
do.
not as deep as his, though. I'll be honest. Yeah, it's still not as deep.
Still not. It's not as deep. Yeah. Did you guys see my Chicago deep dish pizza meme on Facebook
With the gun.
Yeah.
It's a pizza with a gun on it.
Because I commented on it that employees don't deserve $15 an hour because they couldn't even scratch off the serial number.
I know. I went to look at it. I was like, I thought it was scratched out, and now they missed it. It was just a fucking messed up gun. How dare they?
Can't
Dude.
rob with that.
It's actually pretty insane, the connection, like I said, between you and kind of the Kokomo Press, because we had the Kokomo Scanner 2.0, which we got from Halupa, and then kind of transcended, and then we lost that because
Halupa.
you know what I mean. And then now, you know, which with everybody's got trans rights now, and I don't even know if this would have flown back then. If
I probably would have been canceled.
I shared like the
I probably
thing
get canceled after
No,
this.
you were. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
it got flack.
Oh yeah.
There was
I
a lot of
remember.
flack in the comments.
Leave her alone.
Yeah, well, yeah, people were like
remember.
saying that you were like a terrible person and this and that. Like I remember that shit.
And we
So
got it
it's-
too. Remember when we
yeah,
recreated it,
definitely.
we got the
It's
same.
not funny. It's
Leave
like
her
this
alone.
and that. Yeah, and then like people go into like his sister got on there and was like, he's like bipolar, he's got mental problems and all that, and it's like people don't. It's not that fucking deep.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's not.
Yeah, people walking down the street that are dressed funny.
It's strange.
It's a video. Yeah, it's
It's strange.
Yeah,
Almost every single video you see of somebody doing something insane, like a naked. Like I've seen 50 naked women walking, or men and women just walking naked in like L.A. or San Francisco, and they'll post a video of it, and it's like the shit, and they're just bending over, taking the shit on the ground, and everybody's like, the shit you see in L.A. It's the same
Exactly.
concept. It's just, you know, mental illness plays a part in this crazy shit, but like if we don't, it's like I posted something this week too that was like, you know, something about, you know, raising awareness is not activism, and it's like, you know, but certain things you do have to raise awareness of for people to see. It's just not activism. We weren't doing active. It wasn't active activism. I keep wanting to say Activision, like I'm fucking playing like an old game.
Tony Hawk.
Activision, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. But it's like it's not. But at the same time, you do have to raise awareness of things. You have to have reputation. People have to see these things in order to like give a shit.
Absolutely.
It's the same with like the homeless people downtown where they had an encampment and then they just like skirted them out, and now we see them in every corner. You know what I mean? And it's like, and that leads back to Simon trying to get laid.
It goes
The
full
circle of
yeah.
life, baby. This episode's called The Circle of Life.
But Matt and I actually, we go back high school.
Yeah.
Matt and I hung out in high school. I'll never forget Matt, I don't even know if you remember this. Me, Matt, and Tate were in Tate's like little Subaru, whatever he had back in high school, in the Highland Park, like somewhere just randomly, and you're trying to roll a joint with a gum wrapper. You remember that? We tried smoking a joint out of gum wrapper.
Vaguely, because Winterfresh comes to mind.
Yeah.
We got the weed from Liam, remember?
Yes.
You guys are creating menthol weed.
Yeah,
because of the flavor of the winter.
Which led to my McRib addiction, probably.
Oh, so who would have thought that weed and McRibs would have a connection? That's so weird to me. What were you ordering when you went to Steak and Shake? That's really the question.
Oh,
You
I
get a
like
Frisco? You get a
try to
Frisco?
do triple.
Oh, you're like
Mayo and onion.
dang onion. You're like I'm going in on that.
Well,
onion.
usually I like a lot of shit
Yeah.
on my burgers, but with Steak and Shake, and just the way it's cooked, I like it simple.
The less it's actually got a good flavor to the steak burger. It's
Right.
not bad. You don't have to like really add a bunch to it.
It's the grease does enough for it.
There's a triple still. At one time, wasn't a triple on the 4 for $4?
I don't know.
Yeah, it was. It's like the $4. I don't know the triple without cheese. It was like they took away something to make you have to buy. You know what I mean? They play these fucking games.
You know that
bro.
inflate. You know that's gone.
I used to get the 7x7 sometimes.
Yeah.
The fuck's a 7?
It's 7 patties and then 7 pieces of cheese, and like just a fucking gastro bypass scenario.
Yeah.
And you'd finish
Absolutely.
it. You'd smash it.
Oh yeah, I'd be drunk, but I mean,
Barry Bonds got him having steroids. You know that.
I look like what's his name? David Hasselhoff. When he's trying to eat the sandwich,
Eating the burger on the fucking
I
floor.
love
Eating the burger on the floor.
Get up! You're making.
you're just like, shut up.
Shut the fuck up. I'm busy right now. We do have something very important to talk about, you and I, because we did have a little bit of a moment on Facebook. You knew it was coming. I brought this up just because Jeff Saturday was in the picture. I was like, I at least can look at Jeff Saturday for a minute.
I love Jeff Saturday.
Who doesn't? And I see you're wearing the Taylor jersey right now. This is John Taylor, right? I'm not
Yeah,
crazy.
it is.
I was like, maybe I'm crazy, but
I almost wore my Jeff Saturday jersey.
that'd have been
But it's
badass.
in storage. It's like a Super Bowl edition, so it's like I don't ever
shit.
take it out.
There's something special about a man that wears the Center's jersey. You know what I mean?
Right.
Even though Jeff Saturday was like, he was a big deal for the
He was a
Colts.
big
He was
deal.
there forever, like forever.
Is that Saturday right there?
Yeah, it's him.
Looking
yeah.
good, man.
I know he slimmed down. That was one of the things everybody talked about. Is like as soon as he got like out of football, he like slimmed down a shit ton. He looks like a different man almost.
That was his plan all along. He's like, I'm going to be big and beefy.
I feel like you can only be so muscular for so long, and then just
Yeah, he gets big, gigantic, muscular, fat, and then it was like, yeah, I guess it's time to cut. And he was like cutting phase forever.
Also, I feel like the game of football has changed since like he's been center. Like you don't have. I mean, back in the 90s, you just had fat guys on the line, and now you got these like 6'6", 245, like lean, muscular dudes out there. Just ridiculous.
Which kind of goes to the point of Sam Ellinger there. We need a mobile quarterback because these offensive linemen and defensive linemen guys are actually they're buff, but they're no longer fat and slow. They're quick. I mean, and you have to be when you're like when you're trying to acquiesce to like Mahomes and you're trying to acquiesce to fucking Lamar Jackson. And you're trying to get these mobile quarterbacks that are running. Cam Newton. You got Vic, Cam Newton. Those guys were like really big, and then now we've got a bunch of quarterbacks that are just moving.
Josh Allen's definitely
Josh
in
Allen
there.
moves well. But I think that's one of the reasons why they wanted to move in the same. I don't know how it's going to work out. We'll see at 4:00 today. I mean, on Sunday, because now it's Monday when you guys watch this.
Yeah.
But you guys will know how well this went or not. But I'm excited to see how he does, even if it's bad. I just don't think Matt Ryan was doing okay, but he really wasn't the answer.
I just feel like the problems were just so much more in the offensive line. Our wide receivers are just like babies when it comes to experience.
Oh yeah, they are. You're absolutely. I mean, honestly, the truth of it all is I think two things can be right at the same time. I think
for sure.
Matt Ryan wasn't the answer, and I feel like you might as well see what your rookie can do. Especially when Matt's throwing the most picks in the NFL, and he's also
fumbling.
like fumbling, and then that's the offensive line thing. But like he can't move. Whereas Sam might not get as many fumbles because he can move. Who knows if he can fucking target people? But we'll see.
Right,
I guess
we'll see.
Yeah, but like I think the league's just changing so much, which is great. I like moving quarterbacks. I like the Wildcat. I like people who can actually. What do they call it?
They're fun.
Yeah, it's a lot more fun to watch. The option.
Is the Colts game on Amazon Prime today?
No, it's only on Thursdays. Thursday's Amazon Day.
I don't have cable, but I have Prime. So.
NBA crack streams or whatever. It used to be about you used to be able to find all these streams on Reddit, and then they clamped down, dude.
Always
Broke hearts. But now they still have the website that's like crack streams.
Okay.
I always watch them on there because I'm not paying for cable, dude. I already pay for fucking Netflix.
we have like a Sling subscription we have right now.
Yeah. How much does it cost a month? Do you know?
I think it was like 60.
Yeah. Yeah, see,
It's still too much. It's still way too much.
And you can't get everything. Like you can't even get like Pacers games right now with Bally Sports is the only. You have to pay $20 a month to get the Pacers games.
Well, honestly, that deal is not that bad just because of the sheer volume
Yeah.
of Pacers
game.
games.
Yeah.
Like I have ESPN Plus just for like hockey.
Yeah. But by the end of the season, I think how many months the NBA season, let's say, I mean, obviously we're not going to make the playoffs. I would say that, but then they just whoop the Nets' ass. So I do actually have that as
Mathurin
well.
looks really good. Really, is that his?
Mathurin, 32.
Looks really good.
32 points last night as a rook coming off the bench. 32 as a rookie.
is
coming off the
He
ridiculous.
had
bench.
perfect free throws too, right?
Yeah.
And like,
he was like
5
10
for 8 and threes or something.
He killed it. Yeah, he killed it. And Halliburton was killing it. I mean, Buddy Hield almost had a freaking triple double. He was like 17, 9, and 8 something
Everyone
like that.
just went off.
Yeah, all the starters had double-digit scoring. It made me feel like back in the day when we were watching like David West, and when you would watch the starters,
the good old days,
the good old couple
before
of years.
the Malice and the Palace.
That was after the Malice and Palace.
Malice and Palace still fucked us.
Yeah, Malice Palace fucked us, but then we had it was before that Sports Illustrated edition shirt where all the Pacers had their shirts off, and it was like George Hill and like Paul George and like David West, Roy Hibbert, and who else was there? Was one more. Danny Granger? Yeah, I think it was Danny Granger at the time. I can't remember, dude. They move around so much, you know what I mean? No,
I
Lance
think the
Stevenson.
Pacers just don't have
Lance
memorable like people.
Yeah. We do have memorable
unless they
players.
draft that goofy white guy.
Go.
Every
other couple
year.
years. Well, I mean, with Matherin, I appreciated them not doing that. Imagine if we would have got somebody goofy.
Oh, but I feel like so many people would have left the fan base entirely.
Are the Lakers in trouble?
I mean,
They're 0-5 right now. 0-5? Yeah.
I mean, between the Lakers and the Nets right now, I think there's only one win between those two teams, and those are teams that everybody thought they might see each other.
I hope it continues.
I know. I love watching them
every
lose.
time LA loses, I feel like there's just someone lives from cancer.
You're not a big LeBron guy.
You're getting cut by the blades.
Not a big LeBron guy though.
I think LeBron's like awesome. He's great. I'm just over his personality.
He was in my favorite movie of all time. So
What is it?
That's hard.
Space Jam.
I love that fucking movie.
I fucking hate you.
No.
He was in my favorite movie of all time. You know that Amy Schumer flick?
Yeah, he's that train wreck. That movie shit all over space. That was a good movie. I love
wasn't
Bill
bad.
Hader. Bill
It
Hader's
wasn't bad.
amazing.
Bill Hader, fucking David Tell. Like,
Yeah.
was it David Tell? No.
Who played her dad?
Colin Quinn.
Yeah,
he was
perfect.
Great.
Yeah,
Dude,
Colin
Bill
Quinn.
Hader, fucking Barry is one of my favorite shows.
Barry's a master.
Are you into the new season or not?
I haven't seen it. Is it out? I haven't.
There was
been
a new
out, yeah.
season that's been out, but
3.
I watched
3?
like yeah. Is that the
Okay,
one? The
I
season?
don't think I've seen it.
I
yet.
watched part of it and I got out of it. I need to get back into it.
That was
I really
me
do.
too, but the only reason why I got out of it was because something else came up or whatever. I started
Yeah.
watching City on a Hill, but no, it's really good though.
HBO just has so many shows now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Well, they were killing it for a minute, and now I feel like they've kind of slowed down.
They do that. It's like they'll like pick up traction.
Jordan's a
again.
slut for Euphoria, aren't you?
Oh, dude,
Dude.
I loved Euphoria. I thought it
Euphoria
was
is
good.
amazing.
Isn't it good? I thought it was good. It was really good acting. The storylines were cool. Titties. I mean, like
I
what
like
else?
watching
Also
the.
lots of dicks.
I like watching the dad.
I'll take it.
I like watching
sure.
the one dude's dad pound the blonde.
Oh yeah, the
blonde chick.
Hunter Schafer.
The blonde chick.
The blonde chick. Yeah. Well, she's trans. We all know she's a trans woman, but like
I don't
Hunter
see that.
Schafer.
Jewel.
She's a blonde
Jewel's her
chick.
name. In
Jewel,
the show.
Jewel on the
Jules.
show. No, I mean that was the opening scene in the fucking show, wasn't it? Like him
Yeah,
just
I
like
think so.
the father like just like, hey, I'm just gonna.
Destiny was
bang
like,
this little girl.
why is the blanket moving up and down? I was like, don't worry about
Don't
it.
worry about it. Why is my you got my expensive lotion again, Brian? How many times do I have to tell you? Use the Jergens. I bought a bottle. There's a bottle of Jergens somewhere over there. I bought, and my girl looked at me like, in the office, and I was like, well, sometimes I get dusty. She's like, say
You got
less.
2 monitors.
Say less, bro. I'm
What
like,
do you mean? What do you expect me to do?
trying to watch 4K porn. What are you doing? What are you kind of do?
I often go to Google something and just end up in Pornhub. It's just like, what?
Between my iPad, my 2 monitors, I'm just in here like,
Just disassociating into porn sites.
yeah. It's like I got them all up. Pornhub, YouPorn, homegrown
Red
Simpson
Tube.
stuff. Red Tube.
X Hamster. Yeah. Give a shout out to X Hamster.
Oh yeah.
All the best.
That was like
Did you ever
beginning
watch
for
I
me.
Think You Should Leave?
That's
what
I did.
It's so good though. I showed somebody recently that skit, the hot dog skit. I think it was Michelle. I made. I was like, we finished the podcast. I got a little bit baked before the podcast, and we finished the podcast, and I was like, oh, we gotta watch these. I think you should. I gotta show you all these. And
She
she's
loved
like,
them?
She's like, I'm trying to get the fuck out of here. No, I'm just kidding. No,
She liked
she thought they were funny. Yeah, I dressed my son up as the hot dog last year for my baby. He was a year old, just because it was like, we're all trying to find the guy who did this.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I couldn't help it, man. Especially with Halloween. Did you guys see my recent one? I think I put it on here. Maybe I didn't. Kind of wild.
You have
I
a
did,
lot
but
of
it went
pictures
away.
of Simon on your thing.
Listen, listen. You don't worry about that. We'll go ahead. You know what? We'll get into it. We're gonna play a little game. I haven't done this before on the podcast.
Oh, God.
But we're playing a game called Smash and Pass. All right.
God.
So you guys had a smash.
I know
and
the smash button is
pass.
extra smashed.
All right, today we're going to play a game called Smash and Pass. We've got 2 contestants on the episode. We've got Brian West and Matt Perez. Give a hand for him at home. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah. First on today, we're going to start with a couple of easy ones. First off, we're going to start off with Smash or Pass decisions.
Absolutely.
Oh, smash for sure.
For the people listening at home, this is Scarlett Johansson, famous for Black Widow. Black Widow. I was going to say a different porno. The Black Widow.
I'll say I'll smash and then I'll pass.
Yeah.
To Matt.
Yeah, it's a
So you can smash and I'll pass to you.
All three. And then, of course, we got to go into Mila Kunis, who just had a movie drop on Netflix.
Oh, for sure.
One of the most beautiful
a long
women.
time.
Those eyes, dude. She has the
Ever
prettiest
since
eyes.
the OC, I feel like I've smashed Brown.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna put it on the screen. I'm gonna get a whole new thing set up for this one. All right, and so we're gonna move into a little bit more controversial. Lizzo, what are you guys thinking?
Oh yeah,
That's a lot of women.
Lizzo has that sex energy. Though.
Dude, she went as she went as Christine Brock or whatever, that girl that dates Blueface.
Yeah.
And she had on these like short jean shorts and her like I'd smash.
She's a thicky.
I'd let her twerk while playing my flute.
Honestly,
I'm smashing Lizzo.
you don't need James Madison when you can have Jordan Granger. No, that's the skin flute she needs. All right, after Lizzo, we've got one. Oh, you guys like SZA? You guys into SZA?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, I think
Where is she from?
SZA, she does
Control,
lo-fi hip hop, Control of the album. She had a song.
Maybe
with
I'm not hip anymore. I don't know.
Man,
You would like that, dude. It's good.
she's
It's good cooking music. You're
It's
cooking, put it on.
Amazing, dude. It's real. It's good baby making music.
I was gonna
too.
say it's good fucking music too.
Yeah,
She's got good fucking music. I'll
that album.
smash.
Well, the funny thing about SZA is, and this is actually true, is she used to be a thickie, and she lost a lot of weight. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she used to be a thickie thick. I mean, she's still pretty thick, but she used to be a little bit of cushion for the pushing there.
Her genre of music, thought pop.
Yeah, thought
That's what it is. It's thought pop.
Sounds awesome.
thought and B. Thought.
This rolls off the tongue.
All right, now we're gonna get a little bit more controversial. What do you guys think about Dylan Mulvaney?
I think I'll pass.
Not my cup of tea.
Not your cup of tea?
Pass, but
Is it the penis or is it the
I don't care.
her penis? It's her penis, but
Yeah.
I know with all of our track record on trans issues, I'm gonna say smash just so
I
one of
didn't know
us
she.
says
I
it.
didn't know she was trans.
Oh yeah. She does the Days of Girlhood on. Have you heard of Days of Girlhood on TikTok?
No, I've not.
She,
I don't have TikTok.
So Dylan, before Dylan transitioned to a female, Dylan was in. I gotta say the word. I don't want to say the other one without the S on it. But Dylan was on the Book of Mormon on Broadway, and then transitioned to kept the same name, became Dylan on and then did Days of Girlhood on TikTok. Blew up.
Really?
She actually just met with Joe Biden, and I talked about trans issues. So now she's like the spokesperson for trans.
Well, that's awesome. Good
Yeah.
for her.
That is good, yeah.
There was a void left by Caitlyn Jenner when she went right wing.
You put up Caitlyn Jenner there. I'm smashing.
I'm smashing. You don't realize that bitch athletic. She won the track. All right, let's move on. And we've got Sue Johansson.
Absolutely.
Dude, I just for old time's sake, right? Like it's got to be for. I'm gonna make sure I let people see this. I don't know if I showed them.
Absolutely.
But for
I want to see her treasure chest. Just pull them out.
Yes.
The pleasure chest. The pleasure chest. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying, at the end of it all, your butthole probably is getting touched. She's gonna show you what to do.
If this is TMI, I don't care. But
Go
literally,
ahead.
like I remember being 11 or 12 on watching that on the Oxygen and like jerking off to it because it was like it was sexual nature. Like,
I don't even blame you because at one point in time, you and I were probably telekinesisly fucking together. It was like a controlled group of guys just all fucking jerking off in Kokomo.
And she'd have those call-ins, and like people would call in, chicks would call in.
They'd be like,
go to town.
my boyfriend doesn't like using protection. You tell that motherfucker to use protection. I love Sue, man. She's such a sweetheart, such a great lady. I think she informed a lot of our sex lives as kids.
Which is good because we don't have. I don't feel like there's that option is really not that there anymore. There's no like public figure.
Yeah, kids nowadays, if they want to learn about sex, they just go to like the sites and watch the worst porn ever. Like it's like, at least back then we had a sweet older lady like who broke it down for us and was like, "Here you go. This is how you do this. This is how you do that." Like it was great.
Yeah.
Kids nowadays,
Kids nowadays, they think every sex has to be 3 ways.
I
3
got
ways
you.
and orgies and
I
stuff.
got everything's a 3-way. Everything's a London Bridge. Hey, buddy, you go that way.
If I ever do my comedy album, it's every way is a 3-way. Every way is a 3. That's the name of it.
Every. Hey, it's not a 3-way. It's a train. 2 guys. We got 2 more here. I'm gonna bring them up. We've got. What about this one right here? Since you guys brought it up, you smashing or passing?
Old Dempsey.
Honestly, at this point, I think he's old news. He keeps going out there and trying to find the ladies on the side of the corner.
Hypothetically, I'd smash.
Listen. I'm gonna smash just because I feel like he'll cuddle afterwards. But
Yeah.
But I feel like that's a fake trick. Like he's not gonna cuddle me afterwards.
Yeah,
he
I
just
think
looks that way.
He wants you to think that.
It's like the boy next door, you know what I mean? I do believe this, and I think I've actually heard this. This isn't just a rumor, but he has a to-go, like a box. Like you leave with like a gift package, like a care package.
That'd be
So I
amazing.
appreciate that.
That'd be the nicest thing anyone has ever done for me.
I know, like after you smash,
Post-coitus.
you feel instead of doing like the normal like walk of shame, like you get to walk away with like it's like going to the Oscars. You're like, oh my god.
It's just the old Gen AirPods though. You don't want that. It's not a good bag.
It's a gift card to Dan's Donuts and free drink at the filler, like that type of shit.
It's definitely a free drink at the filler.
And there's always a referral card to Corey Warner. It's like,
Psychologist at large, you know what I mean? Like if you need psychological help, Corey takes the broken ones. And then last but not least, we do have to bring up the last contestant on Smash or Pass. Of course, we gotta do Kyle Gibson.
I would definitely let Kyle smash.
Yeah,
Kyle
he's
would
got
smash
to.
Kyle. Because I know he's gonna cook me some bomb ass food afterwards.
I was gonna say Kyle Smash Burger.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I mean the food. The food is enough to be like, you can smash this burger from behind. And
Plus,
afterwards.
I've also fully seen Kyle in drag.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, you've probably seen Kyle's penis, if we're being honest. Has that happened?
Well,
Like,
it's off the record, you know.
Off the record.
That's how I got hired.
That's how I knew to keep the mic censorship from my face.
6 inch.
I was like, this seems about right.
I had to do this to Kyle. We love him. He's a great guy. Especially, I love seeing that guy kickball every year. I mean, we talked about it a little bit earlier, but
That seems hilarious because being a part of it is even a different experience because they just get drunk. There's no coordination or anything to it. Just get smashed and smash balls. That's all.
They're
it
good,
is.
yeah.
He's always hammered when I show up, which is a great. And I'm like, man, we're gonna fight. And then they whoop our ass, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
And they let you know about it too.
Yeah. Oh, they talk shit the whole time.
The whole time.
He's always my ex-wife was my pitcher for the longest time on there, and he would just get in her head in the beginning of the game, and she'd be like, I fucking hate that guy. And I'm like, that's why he's doing what he's doing. He's winning. He's winning twice. He's beating our asses, and he's beating your ass mentally.
He's your worst enemy for that game, and then after that, best friend.
Oh, yeah.
He'll be drinking with you.
Hey, buddy, what's up? How you doing? You want to hit this?
Oh yeah.
You just told me to fuck my mother. No, man, it's just a game, bro.
No, it's just banter. It's just banter. What are you worried about? Fuck your mother. You should. No, there's been a lot of weird shit happening in Kokomo lately and in the surrounding community, and I just wanted to bring this up and say we're looking at you, Logansport and Muncie, right now. Why don't you take a seat over there? We're gonna have a conversation because recently, a teacher, an ex-Logansport teacher, accused of soliciting a 14-year-old boy. And I don't understand why they didn't put boy on here. Is that sexism, you think? If it was a girl, they probably would have.
I would say that I know it was all over the video and stuff and everything, but they're probably just wanting to keep it out, just keep completely out of it. Not, it's sex with a 14-year-old's bad enough.
Probably more of a victim thing, like
yeah,
protect
exactly.
the victim.
Well, there wasn't a victim. We have to remember that it was an operation by a predator group that set him up.
PCI, baby. Shout out to PCI.
But I do think it's important. I think it's important. It says 14-year-old boy in the actual article if you guys look it up. But it's important to highlight boy because if we're being honest, boys are less likely to report because of homophobia, internalized homophobia, like kids being like they feel like, oh, I'm gay if I do this, and it's not even necessarily a gay thing. It's you are predator upon whatever preyed upon. Predator upon. I knew there was a group starting in Kokomo called the Kokomo Stingers, Predator Stingers. I saw that for a while.
Yeah, I started it.
You're gonna kill
the
it.
thing was, because I was working on it and I was like doing I was actually getting on the meetup sites and talking to the guys, but then I ended up falling in love with them. So, so I had to quit it. Like I met a couple of them and was like, I could change them. Like,
Oh man. Well, I ended up falling in love, and
they smitten me. I was like, I can't.
He's got a date next Tuesday.
it went from a predator sting to a catfish real quick.
I'm putting money on some of their books now.
Call Neve.
Yeah,
No, we really did. Like he was. I mean, I legit was. And then what happened was, honestly, that's such a dicey game, and I was using my phone, and like it never happened, but like those guys are so fucking sick. Just to incriminate you and stuff, they'll and pass on other people. They'll send harmful videos and images of other kids to the phones.
Yeah,
and then it's like,
That's
okay, you're in on it now.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it never got that deep, but like I've had we had done a couple, and I posted them on that Facebook page.
Yeah, I remember when that was popping off for a minute.
Yeah, and but other than that, man, it's creepy. It takes an emotional toll. It's nasty.
I was saying, how do you not kill those guys? Like,
yeah, it's like you got
you have kids. Plus, you have kids yourself.
Exactly.
So like,
it's serious. When you have, I mean, in general, like we protect kids. You know, whether you have kids or not. I'm not saying only people with kids, but if you have kids, it's even more like it's mentally exhausting. It had to be, right? Like, I know when we had talked about it, and then that group popped off for a minute, and things were blowing up, and then it died down and simmered real quick because then people were accusing. It became like, the problem is it's like the Salem witch trials, you know?
Oh yeah, everyone just turns into a witch. So
it's like, or McCarthyism, you know, where it's like, if you don't call your neighbor a communist before they call you a communist, then one of you is going to get caught, so you might as well call them a communist first. And that's the only thing that gets scary with those things, because there are obviously predators. We found this out through this guy. You know, he was working in Muncie as a teacher, like as a substitute or as teacher's aide, and you know, after he had retired from Logansport, and that's where he kind of got caught, and then it became a big deal in Logansport because he was a staple of the community there. Like, he was a big deal. He was like a guy who he coached all the kids. He was the teacher in 4th grade but then like every kid wanted him in 4th grade. You know, we all talk, you know, who'd you get? Oh, you got her. Or, oh no, you got him. He's the worst. You know what I mean?
Right.
He was the one the kids wanted. But more than one parent came forward saying that he had made comments about like physical maturity at that age of the kids, like, and it was uncomfortable when he did it. So then that's when he starts to get into the point of like, maybe, you know, there could have been an abuse that had been happening for years and nobody knew about, which is a little bit wild.
That's scary.
that is crazy.
So this group, you know, these groups are kind of like, they're vigilante groups. I mean, that's the best way to describe it. You know, we all like comic books, but it's like a vigilante group, but at the same time, it's like, these things need to come to light in some way. And if the cops don't have the resources, you know what I mean? They're like, oh shit, somebody's got weed. We gotta go get them. Like,
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that girl that we posted on the page where I was like, I can change her, like joking around. I got a fiance, but I made a joke like, I could change her because she's a pretty girl, got arrested for weed, and I'm like, this is stupid. I wanted people to click on it and be like,
what was the other charge for? Because it was weird. It was like possession of marijuana, and then there was something else that was like off.
Didn't make sense. Yeah,
didn't make sense, but
it seemed like something they were throwing on there because the weed charge. Like, hopefully, it shouldn't stick anyway. You know what I mean?
She was a little baddie though.
Yeah, she's a pretty girl. Yeah, and I think that was the joke for me in my head. I was like, I can change her, like, you know, because she's a pretty girl, and at the same time, like, she got fucking caught for weed. You know what I mean?
Which is stupid. When half the countries it's legal.
Yeah,
the cop must have not been into chicks, is what it just comes down to. I mean, that's all I think about. Like, whenever I see that, because it's like, remember, like in high school, Kelsey Atkinson getting arrested. I'm like, why? Like, just like,
don't let Brian be a cop.
Let's hang out all
Don't let Brian be a cop at all. Brian would be like,
Yeah,
oh, we're gonna let you off on a. Oh man, we're gonna let you on voice, sir. We're gonna need you to quit resisting. We're gonna need you to get down on your knee.
There's a reason why I'm not a police officer. That's the only reason why.
That's the only reason. That's it.
I wanted to go into law enforcement.
I was gonna go into law enforcement.
You're the first Mexican cop ever.
Hey, that's something else we share. We're both. What are you, fool?
I'm half Puerto Rican.
Oh, you're not Mexican?
No.
I'm Spanish. I'm a quarter Mexican.
I'd like to switch my answer to pass, please.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. I'm a quarter, and it's
something
like
that's either not American or real American.
Well, none of this province bullshit.
What is this, Guatemala?
Guam? What is that?
Another
island.
Puerto Rican. I should have known that too, because we've been friends for all these years. And
What percentage Mexican are you?
Just a quarter.
Just
my
quarter?
dad was half, and my grandfather was full. My grandfather was like full though.
See, I got my nephews. I call them Puerto Ricans.
Puerto Ricans. Because their dad white or
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. You know, like, I'm just regular white. I thought that makes you guys feel, you know, I'm 100% white. Me and Anna.
100%.
So I would never have guessed.
Yeah, I would have never guessed based on. I have heard some people, you know, ask me if I have a Hispanic in me. You know.
I just got your message. Are you dressing up?
No,
sorry.
I was like,
what are you?
Hit me up.
I asked that question to him. I wanted to match the energy.
Yeah. I was like, I don't think so. I have a mask I can wear. I didn't really want to. I didn't, you know. Yeah. I know with the holiday, with Halloween, happy Halloween, everybody. But you know, most people probably, or at least a decent portion of them, are just listening anyway. Some people are going to watch the video, which appreciate you. But you know, a lot of people listen. They probably don't give a shit what we look like. If they saw our faces, they probably wouldn't be listening.
They would.
No.
They'd be really upset.
Like, this is what these fuckers look like. I'm out. And this is awful. I found this hilarious video. I wanted to ask you guys. Well, actually, I wanted to bring this up first. I want to ask you guys, getting back on the Latino subject. This popped up, and I was like, I need to get perspective on this. So research suggests long wait times at polling places prevent some voters from casting their ballots, and that the problem disproportionately affects Black and Latino voters. And I'm trying to figure out the non-racist way to take this, because this is basically saying that Black and Latino people just show up late. It's like they're just showing up late to the polls. Isn't that what this means? Like, am I crazy?
I think it's because the way that the counties are set up, that if you actually go to like nicer places, there's a lot more options.
Yeah, see, to go to actually vote. Okay,
Yes.
that would make sense. Okay, cool.
So like if you get into like a poor part, there's like one polling place.
Yeah, and it's probably overwhelmed, and they probably have
How I read
like
it,
Carmel though, there's like
25 of them.
Yeah, CVS and everywhere.
Everybody's grandma's like, I'll take care of the polls for you.
Yeah.
how I read it is, and I'm being serious, Black and Latinos don't want to wait in long lines. Is that not? I mean,
that's very true.
Research to do. They got shit to do.
Or not do. It just depends. Like, it's a long line. I'll tell you what I'm not doing.
As the philosopher Cardi B said, I'm making money moves. I don't have time for this shit. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, to me, like when I read it, I was like, "Is this racist? It is." You remember that old Tosh? Like, is this racist? In my head, that's all I could think of. Is like, this kind of seems like they're saying they just are lazy and they're not showing up. And I'm like, that's bullshit. So that's clearly not true. But actually, that makes sense. That like the way they gerrymander the lines, they make it so it's harder for minority voters to get to the polling stations. And like I said, maybe even public. Like we're all assuming they're all poor, so which is kind of bullshit. But
That's
at the same
fucked
time,
up.
it's kind of goes to that point though, right?
Yes, I did do that.
Well, we did. I mean, if we do
that
statistically,
situation,
statistically we know, but also there's a lot of societal issues.
Which is
that
why
are
I think it's
caused
cool
by
that like NFL stadiums and stuff like that are being more like the NFL. I've noticed, are like opening up stadiums and stuff like that for like voting.
That's dope.
And that's good because it gives a big hub, and you can actually have a lot of like places to vote where you can spread it out. Because if it's like a small, like a lot of places are like at school gym, it's you can fit a decent amount of people in there, but to get it to go, it's going to slow down.
That's also, I think it's also just knowledge. In Lafayette, they have like a trans fest every year, and I was getting a tattoo that day, but I checked it out, and they had like 4 places like informing people about voting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think there is growing awareness in that issue, that regard. So that's good.
Well, I know they're with. I mean, it makes sense that it would disproportionately affect them, especially with the gerrymandering, especially big cities, because you have more people in the areas, the big cities, and you have more minorities in big cities. That's just the way things go, and or the way things are. So you're going to have less places that you can go to, and they're going to be more densely populated.
Absolutely.
In general, It's expensive. I do have let's break this up with a little jokey joke for you guys.
Camera recording.
What's up, neighbors? Just got back from the church. Heard a good one. Wanted to share it with you. Do trees poop? Do they poop? Well, of course they do. How would we get number 2 pencils?
Dude, what?
Oh my!
Later, gator.
It's in that cup. He's sipping.
What church is this motherfucker going to? What church is this guy? He's having a good time.
It kind of reminds me of Pastor Charlie that from Abundant Life, who is our pastor. He's a great guy.
I love goofy fucking dudes like this. And this video made me laugh so hard. But even in the later, gator.
Number 2 pencils. That's good shit.
Listen, I would if it's harder for me to vote, I'm cool as long as this motherfucker's not in my neighborhood. You know what? I'm not voting. Just keep him out.
Yeah, seriously.
He's coming. He's the guy at the polls. Like, hey, you ready to vote? I got a joke for you. Like, leave me alone, bro.
He looks like he'd get invited to the barbecue.
Yeah, he would.
Because
I don't know about that. I feel like that guy doesn't watch the NFL anymore.
I feel like that guy doesn't watch the NFL.
I feel like that guy watches Bravo, for being honest. Okay? I feel like he watches the Bravo channel.
He's like, have you seen the new HGTV episode? Yeah. I'm watching the Property Brothers.
Property, man.
I don't know. I'm thinking about loving it or listing it. I don't know. What do you guys think? God, there's so many of those shows that I feel like it's starting to get like my girl's been getting me to watch like the whitest show on the planet.
That's how it always goes. It's the
my
girlfriend.
girl.
It's the girlfriend.
It
Or
is
the
every
fiance,
time.
the wife. It's just I've been watching Ink Master lately. Like,
Yeah.
she's got me into Hell's Kitchen.
Oh, I will take all those over what I'm watching.
What are you watching?
Love is Blind.
Oh, she watches that too.
What is it?
Okay, so Love is Blind is like it's like a show about a bunch of people, like a bunch of guys and a bunch of girls, and they go in. They're separated by their gender. You know, apparently on the show, Leon believes in two. And they put the guys here, the girls there, and then they go on dates with everybody. And then they whittle down who they want to go to, and then they either decide to get engaged and they're like fall in love, like blindly, never meet them, never see them, never nothing, just learn about them, or they don't and they're no longer on the show. And like at this point, there's like 7 couples, 6 or 7
It's like
couples.
the most unhealthy way to ever engage into a relationship, like ever.
Actually, I know one other way. I'm just kidding. No, I'm just like, it's the weirdest shit ever. But like you're like wondering, like, it's they call it an experiment, and at least they're honest about it. Like, this was an experiment. But then these people have to meet the families, and it's like the one that's like the weirdest to me, and like maybe it's just me being me, but like one of them is like this tall, goofy looking like country guy, like, hey, what's up, man? It's me. I'm out here meeting a lady. And then the woman's like a Kardashian but Jewish, and she's like, and it's like these two are together, and she's like, her house is like, you know, those houses that have like the entire walls of windows. You know what I mean? Where you're like,
yeah.
that's beautiful. It's a beautiful house. And this is in Texas. I think this is where this takes place. She lives in a house like that. And he's like, growing up, I didn't have running water or AC. And I'm like, yeah, you guys are going to fucking work for sure. This is going the fucking distance.
last.
Well, if he knows what's good for him, he'll stick it out.
I was like, how many weeks? It's like a 6-week show, 2 weeks in the pods, and then 4 weeks engaged, and they have to get married at the end if they decide to, or whatever. If they decide to stay together.
Sometimes like in other relationships, aren't they?
Yeah. It's like a whole weird thing. But like the first weekend, I like the Israeli girl was always like, already like, how do you feel about a prenup?
A prenup?
Yeah. Real quick, she's like, you're not gonna get any of my money. I'm just letting you know. And he's like, yeah, I'm a water treatment specialist. And I'm like, oh god, this woman's gonna want a jet set every week, and he's gonna be like, I'm over here trying to fix Flint, bitch. Leave me alone. She's over there like fucking flying right over it.
So you good looking dude at least? I mean,
goofy looking, gangly looking. I mean, he's not ugly. None of these guys, they purposely don't really.
Right.
She's a thickie though. She's the only thick girl on the show. Everybody else is like skinny rails. Some of them are like, but they're all like dimensionally. You would be like, yeah, that's what these shows are. But the Israeli girl is thicker, bigger, like more built like what's the Ashley looking the model. Brooke something. I don't fucking know. But
I don't know porn star names.
no point.
If you're talking about Riley Reid, I got you.
Riley Reid, fucking. No, I'm talking about Heather and Nicole. No, I'm just kidding. Everybody knows her. Head doctor. Everybody's like, how did it disappear? Where did it go? It went somewhere. No, I'm talking about like I can't remember her name, but she's that thick, not Tess Holiday thick, but like the other one. The thick model. The model, Ashley something. I don't know. Somebody in the comments being like, obviously you aren't down with the cause because you don't know her name. I don't remember her fucking name. But very, very, very beautiful Israeli woman though. Like, and they don't even like, they're Jewish, but like they're like, we're like Jewish like in religion, but we consider ourselves Israeli. And I'm like, so tell me more about Palestine.
Right.
Tell me
It's
more.
a great place.
How do you feel about the West Bank? Like, the one we run, the one Kanye doesn't want us. I'm just kidding. No longer letting Kanye be part of this bank.
what's your guys' thoughts on that?
He apologized. Did you see that?
Did he?
He just recently apologized about his Jewish comments. He was like, now I know what it feels. No, he didn't apologize about the Jewish comments. Let me take that back. He apologized about the George Floyd comments because he's like, after what's happening to me with Adidas, I can sympathize with George Floyd because I also feel like I have an E on my back. That's what he said on my back.
Oh gosh.
He has no like chill. He just doesn't.
He doesn't have any chill.
He doesn't get it at all.
He's like the ultimate Gemini.
It's
Really what it is.
Yeah. He has. People are hating him right now, and I get that, but he'll do something to win people back. He'll put out a dope album.
Eventually, I'm waiting for it.
Yeah.
That album's going to come with such heat.
Yeah.
I saw.
It's going to erase all of his comments.
I was watching a podcast and they asked, they're like it was a black guy on the podcast and he was like, why did you guys forgive him? He was like, we didn't forgive him. He was like, remember when he said slavery is a choice? He was like, Yeah, we did forget. I was dying. He's like, yeah, I forgot about that. If I'm being honest with you, the music's too dope. You know, he put out
George Bush
Donda.
hates black people.
Yeah.
To slavery is a choice.
He's like his like fucking graph looks like.
At least at this point, he's like hitting all like. This,
Oh, yeah.
he's just hitting every person on the spectrum.
What's that? What's the name of that like graph they have that has the 4 parts? It's like libertarian right, libertarian left. Like, or I'm doing the wrong side, but libertarian left, and they do like the commie right, or like, you know what I mean, like the authoritarian right.
Oh yeah.
This motherfucker's he's just like traveling
Every
around
one
it.
of 'em.
It's all he's much like the McRib. He's also the circle of life. He's just going around like changing his opinion. He's like phew, 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 phew. Pretty insane.
Like I said, I can separate the art from the artist, but it's like, you know, they're saying some dumb shit, man. Like,
Yeah, it's bad. It's like at a certain point though, you can't though.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
Like I love My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasies. I think it's the best album ever done.
yeah.
But it's getting a lot harder to listen to it.
For me, it's weird because like the albums exist. I talked about this with Matty Kroll on the podcast before. I feel like these albums exist in a vacuum for me. They're not like to me they don't change. I go back to where I was. So to me, when I go back to, you know, College Dropout, I'm not thinking about Kanye now. So like, but if I listen to like Jesus is King, I'm like, this is that Kanye.
we
You
don't
know what
listen
I mean?
to Jesus is King.
No,
It's just
we
not, I mean, not even anything against
This
that
is
shit.
not.
No bangers.
The only song on that album that I liked was the Chick-fil-A song, and that's because every time I go to Chick-fil-A, I'm like, closed on Sunday. You're my Chick-fil-A.
Was that on that album?
Yeah, isn't that from Jesus is King? Isn't that the
It is from Jesus is
Yeah,
King.
the blue one. Yeah, on that.
I don't. Okay.
You don't remember? It's
Yeah, I
true.
just didn't think it was, but
Listen, motherfucker, if you're not gonna believe
I'm gonna
me,
look it up.
You look it up right now. I will. I'm so confident. in
Apple they removed all of his albums. No, just kidding.
Kanye, all the memes from this were hilarious. Like, did you see the one that was like Kanye has now, Kanye has now parted ways with settings on like the iPhone?
They're everywhere.
Oh, dude, it's like everything's parting ways with everything. It's too much, to be honest with you. Oh, while Brian looks that up, I did like we have this shared history.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I knew I was right. It didn't matter. I was gonna let you look it up. I knew I was right.
We were both against you on that one.
Follow
Yeah.
God. There's actually some shit. Now that I'm looking.
I'll say the production value
It's
of that
everything,
is, I
yeah.
mean, it's Kanye production, so it's amazing.
Yeah, you can't. There's not much you can say about it other than like he's probably one of the greatest producers of all time.
I mean, is he not the greatest?
It's like him, Pharrell, maybe like the Neptunes. Like
Pharrell, I like Pharrell a lot, but
he has an entire moment in time like it. And then what's his name? The one do you guys know?
Timbaland too.
Yeah, Timbaland. Do you guys know Ian Schick? He's a homie of mine that he's actually working with Max Martin. You guys know who Max Martin is? Who's also a producer. He actually owns A Moment in Time too. He's like hit me baby one more.
Oh, okay.
He wrote that, produced that. Backstreet Boys. I Want It That Way. Like he produced that. But then now like he just produced the entire Weekend album, the one Dawn FM, which was one of my favorite albums of the last year.
Damn, dude.
He's
pretty
still
big,
on
yeah.
top. But Max Martin, between Max Martin, Pharrell, Timbaland, Kanye, it's like hands and everything, dude. It's crazy. And then you find out that all of Kanye's stuff was written by Drake. You know, did you see that shit? That came out recently.
what it
They're
said?
like, Kanye was like, yeah, Drake wrote most of my songs. I'm like, yeah, I don't believe you.
It's a trickle down effect because then somebody wrote that for Drake and Drake gave it over Kanye.
Actually, I read your boy Breeze did the entire Drake album.
Man,
so.
that man, give him his flowers.
He
bro.
just posted recently. He's like, he literally, this is why it popped in my head. He posted, he was like, if anybody's looking for a ghostwriter, hit up your boy Breeze. I've got 974 songs on iTunes. I'm like, damn, man, he
really
prolific.
he's consistent. People call him trash or whatever, and you can have your own opinion about him. But like,
Yeah.
the dude doesn't give up. He puts out shit all the time. That's what
Prolific
blows-
is the word, yeah.
Prolific.
He really is. That's the truth about the guy is he is prolific. My only issue with him is like, as much as he puts out, if he would just put it into like, if he would just be serious about a quality project instead of just quantity, that's my only issue with him. It always has been. If he would just focus on quality.
He records it all in a furnace room. So
Well, it's between that and then like the recent. Like I listen. He tagged. Here's my philosophy on this, and maybe this is kind of fucked up, but it's how I look at it. When people like tag me in something on Facebook, I'll watch it. If I enjoy it, I keep my tag on there. If I don't, I'll untag myself because personally, I don't want to be attached to something that I'm not really down
that's a
with.
good move though.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm not. If I like it, I'm gonna keep tagged to it, and I want people to see it on my
Because
page.
your tag is a representation of you.
Yeah, and anybody can tag you in anything, but you make that decision whether you want it to stay. And he tagged me in the newest song that he put out, and I went and listened to it. I went and listened. Not a big fan. I didn't like the rhymes. I thought the rhymes were elementary. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm throwing that out there, bro. I'm challenging you to work harder on the rhymes, but I'm not. I don't want to hear C and me and B and believe. And it's like, let's get some more syllables in there. You know what I mean? Like let's get some. I'm not saying you don't have to be MF Doom, but
I eat rice. No.
Jesus Christ.
No, I feel you on that.
Yeah, that's like my only thing. And then like some of the music videos in like the graveyard. I don't like music videos in graveyards. I think that's weird. Like I think it's kind of inappropriate. I mean, just to be
If
like,
you knew what I did in them graveyards, buddy, you would not be saying that.
all right, now Brian's officially canceled. Ready to move him out. No, this thing popped up on my shit, and it reminded me of us because we all started together on that one video, and this was like an old school. I'm just gonna let you guys watch it. You guys tell me what you think.
I don't think I'll ever have any kids. I'm really not that type of girl.
Hold on, I'm losing it here. Hold on. Let me go out. Let me see if it pops
I
up.
don't think I'll ever have any kids.
Motherfucker. Here we go again. Let's see if I can get this one to pop up. See, every once in a while, this motherfucker doesn't want to. Let me go and
Fucking up.
boom. I'm going to stop mirroring and I'm going to go back in and mirror again.
difficulty.
Technical difficulty.
They have.
All right. This motherfucker's going to be a dick. Let's see if it. All right,
I don't think I'll ever have any kids. I'm really not that type of girl.
Really? I'm surprised. I'm sure a lot of guys would like to knock you up.
Gosh, well, that would be a Christmas miracle.
Well, what kind of girl are you?
Let's just say I'm a special girl.
What are you, retarded?
This is old school trans porn, obviously.
Yep.
Great stuff. You know, we've all seen it.
When I was watching it, it reminded me of that thing people, it's like, oh, I usually skip past this part.
I'm like, wow, how awful, how cancelable, how cancel. What do you read? Stop it. Let's stop it there.
I don't know why that was so funny, but
It's hilarious because we're like, nowadays this shit would never fly.
No.
And this shit was like, this was what trans porn was like. It was not only it was ableist, it was transphobic. It was
yeah.
all of it. And the funny thing is, all of this wrapped into a guy wanting to watch, a trans woman.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like, are you transphobic here? Not really, but the fucking material is. I just remember watching it and being like, what are you I'm like, what the fuck, dude? It's awful, dude. Anyway, I had to bring that one up just to wrap up. We're gonna wrap up this podcast. We've done an hour. We're here. Does it feel like an hour?
Yeah, no, not at all.
We kill it, right? It's
Yeah,
pretty good.
it's pretty good.
We have a good little time here. We goof off. If you guys check out Matt Perez on Facebook, all of his places, he'll probably eat about 50 more McRibs before the end of the year.
oh yeah, you got when do they when do they go off? When do they take one?
When I eat them out of business.
When I decide, I decide.
You get a call every morning like, we got 45 left. I think I'll be there.
I tell you when we've had enough.
They get a fucking special alert. Oh, Matt Perez is now placing an order online.
I'm pretty sure they have my phone number saved from all the times I've called them and be like, is the McRib there yet?
If they come back, if they do come back next time, but they're plant-based, are you going to eat them?
I'll eat any form of McRib.
Any form.
I'm looking at the camera as I say that.
I will eat. Let's go ahead. Here we go.
I'll eat. Wait, is it really?
That's right here.
I'll eat any form of McRib.
He's like, which camera? We had so many fucking cameras. Any McRib that they have, I will eat. It's funny. It'd be hilarious if they were just like, hey, every year they have one special McRib sent to the McDonald's of your choice, and you get to just pick it up.
People have told me to try to get free McRibs for life because of my tattoo.
You might be able to get.
But see, I'm not in it for the. I'm just in it for the. I'm like
for the love of the game.
I'm a soul McRib eater.
I'm not in it for the glory. I'm in it for the love of the game.
Yeah.
The Ronald McDonald House is actually going to pay for your triple bypass.
I hope so. Someone has to.
Somebody has to. They're like, no texty backsies. You ate the motherfuckers. That's on you.
Especially with this healthcare system. Jeez.
Okay, that's our time. I'm Jordan Granger.
I'm Brian West.
I'm Matt Perez.
Thanks for checking us out. The Kokomo Press Podcast. We love you.
Bye-bye.
Kisses. Thank you for watching this episode of the Kokomo Press Podcast. We really appreciate you. Please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You can check us out on the Kokomo Press at Facebook, at YouTube, at Instagram, or you can follow us all at our individual accounts if you want on Twitter or Facebook or wherever. You can get our merch, or if you really, really, really want to help us out, it's only $5. You can actually subscribe to our Patreon. Check that out because we have a lot of content we want to give you guys, and we want to put more and more out, and it's starting to get expensive. So hit us up. Thank you for watching this episode of the Kokomo Press Podcast. Thank you so much. We love you. 2 kisses.
I know he's killing people overseas, like left and right. But
listen, we lose a couple of schools and hospitals a week, but at least we can put a fucking sentence together. Thanks, Obama. No, I'm just kidding.
They're not my kids dying. So.
Did you just see they had a recent thing pop up of him? Obama was like doing a speech, I think in Michigan for whatever senators running up there. He's I'm giving my endorsement. And he's up there talking, and he says something like I'm getting older, and some lady in the back's like, you still fine as a motherfucker, and he just like, who said that? Who called me the fine? Somebody said I was the fine. So what? She said I'm still fine. She said, I'm like Obama. She said finer than a motherfucker. That's what she said. He didn't want to say motherfucker on the mic.